Alright YouTube, hopefully you enjoyed that little sequence that you just watched, which is of a promo that I did for a local bar here in Margate. It is a B-roll sequence. Epic B-roll alert! Actually, it's not B-roll because it is the main footage in the video, so therefore it can't be B-roll. Don't get me started on that. It seems to be the trend to call a lot of this kind of work B-roll at the moment. I'm down with that, that's absolutely fine. So technically, it isn't B-roll. Anyway, this sequence was shot on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, 6K, all handheld, apart from a couple of gimbal shots. It's pretty obvious which are the gimbal shots in there, but as we go through the sequence, I'll talk you through it all. So let's have a look at the breakdown as to how I edited it all, and how I did the sound design, and where I got the music and stuff like that. Let's jump in. So here we are in Premiere Pro, and I've got the sequence already open on the timeline. It's all color coded. I love to color code because it helps me navigate through the edit as I'm going along. Up here on the top, you've got all the adjustment layers where I've done the grade. In pink here, you've got some overlays, which I'll talk you through later. Down here, the teal colors are some transitions. These in the light blue is the main footage, some of which has been nested, but we'll get into that. The yellow track here is the music. I always have the music at the top so that I can easily cut to the rhythm of the beat. Green here is the ambient sounds, and the magenta down here is all the other Foley sound effects and whoosh sound effects. First thing to talk about is the music. The music was the first thing that I chose. I knew what I was going to edit to, and I knew that the whole piece was going to be about 30 seconds long, so I've taken the main bit of music that I liked here, and here in this little area you can see that I've then taken the end of the music, brought it forward, and on the beat have simply crossfaded it so that it matches on the beat to give us that nice out at the end. Then I went through all my rushes, chose all the bits that I'd wanted. I planned in advance exactly what I was going to shoot. I knew where all the transitions would take place so that I could pre-film those and knew pretty much what the edit would look like as I was shooting it. Now, the owners of the bar wanted to get in as much bar branding as they could. The bar's called Xylo. There's a lovely sign outside that says Xylo on it, so I thought, nice to start with an exterior shot, traditional filmmaking method, but I thought let's make it a bit different and let's do a tilt down that turns into a transition into our next shot that looks something like this. Now, what you'll have seen there is I've added in an old school film overlay because the owners wanted a sort of vintage retro feel to it because that's the vibe of their bar. So I thought it would be cool to add in this rolling film effect. So it's almost as if the film is rolling with the transition. And the transition that I've used here is a simple push down transition that just gives it a bit of motion blur, makes it all pretty seamless. Add in the whoosh sound effect underneath. That works pretty well for me. Going back to the exterior shot of the bar, underneath that here, there's the sound effect of the sea with some birds in it because I wanted to immediately let people know that this bar is on the seafront. Then we transition into the bar itself, and the sound effect, the ambient sound effect running underneath that is just the sound effect of a busy bar. I've added some reverb to it so that it wasn't as loud and it didn't overtake the edit. So this shot, all handheld, most of this was shot at 120 frames. So I simply follow the hand with the glass. So the idea is you're seeing a drink being prepared and then you see it go to the customers, you see customers enjoying themselves, and then you think, oh, I want to go to that bar. Yeah, whether you do or not, I don't know. I go there all the time and I love it. So the promo worked on me. So we follow the hand down and then it whips into another transition of the glass sliding across the bar. And that again is just a transition. That's a preset transition that I got from Envato Elements. And I should say that both of these are speed ramped. So we speed ramp out of this clip and into this clip, and then out of this clip and into this clip. And because we've had 3 clips speed ramped with transitions to start off the edit, I then slow it down with just 3 normal B-roll shots of a pint being poured with sound effects underneath, again just to give it a bit of oomph. So I slow the edit down a little bit there, and then it speeds back up into a speed ramp shot of the pint coming towards you so that you can see the finished product. Then we start seeing the preparation of the next drink. Again, wanted to slow it down, keep it nice and slow at this point because there'll be faster bits later on. So we've just got a simple shot, slow motion, 120 frames of the ice falling into the glass, ice sound effect underneath. Most of these sound effects have got a bit of reverb. I might have slowed some of them down and played with the pitch. And then we go into a slightly faster sequence where you've got the orange rolling across the bar, which speed ramps into the knife coming down, cutting the lemon, and then the glass going across. All of these pre-planned transitions, which speed ramps into the bottle coming off the shelf, which speed ramps into the drink being poured. And because all of that was so fast, I then slow it down again with a shot of the drink going into the glass. All of this sequence here, speed ramps, in-camera transitions, accentuated with the sound effects. Then this next shot, fairly static, wanted to keep it relatively slow paced. So you see a couple of the final drinks that are about to go out to the customers. So it's just a simple gimbal shot that's pulling back as the hand places the drink on the tray. And this effect I've added here was just to give it a little bit more interest. So it's a sort of old school film overlay effect. And then one whoosh sound effect down here as it transitions with the tray going out and the tray coming back into another gimbal shot. Then we see another pint going to some customers and it speed ramps into the final shot of a load of drinks prepared on the bar. We took quite a while to set dress it because we wanted to look good. We also wanted to have all the hops out on the bar, all the ingredients that these guys use for their drinks. And we wanted the social element of drinks coming out. This is another gimbal shot that I shot in reverse. That way I knew that I could nail the focus at the end. So they actually put the drinks into the scene, and then in the edit, I've reversed it all and speed ramped it so that it finishes on the drink and then into the logo. And underneath, there's a bit of a bass drop just to give it a bit of emphasis at the end there. So very basically and very quickly, that's how I edited that B-roll sequence. I kept it quick because I was aware that my last one was a little bit longer, so I wanted to speed through this. Hopefully it gives you an overview of how I did it and you can get some tips and tricks from that. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you've got any questions about how I shot this, about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K, drop me a line in the comments. If you like this video, then awesome. Please give me a like and a subscribe. I always love getting those notifications on my phone, so thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace!